Person, you can say you value your goals, your family, your dreams. But if none of those things are scheduled in your calendar, they're not priorities. They're just intentions. And intentions don't change the world, commitments do. So let me challenge you, protect your calendar like it's gold. Because it is. Croyez, you give as a withdrawal from your future. Every no is a deposit into what truly matters. Your calendar is more than a collection of dates and appointments. It's a mirror. It silently reveals what you value, where your priorities truly lie. Person, and what kind of life you're choosing to build. Many of us talk about what matters most. Our families, our health, our dreams. But when we look at our schedules, person, they often tell a different story. We say we value growth, yet our days are consumed by meetings that drain us. We say we value relationships. Person, yet there's no time blocked for the people we love. The truth is simple and often uncomfortable. What fills your calendar fills your life. Person, every commitment on your calendar is a declaration of what you believe deserves your time and attention. Person, if your schedule is filled with tasks that don't inspire or move you closer to your purpose, that's not just poor time management. It's misplaced value. Person, think of it this way. Every time you choose to fill your day with noise, you push out the things that could bring meaning. Person, your calendar doesn't just show what you're doing. It shows what you're willing to sacrifice if you don't consciously choose what goes on it. Person, someone else will choose for you and their priorities will become yours. When you start treating your calendar as a reflection of your deepest values, person, you begin to see it differently. It's no longer just a tool to manage time. It becomes a framework for living intentionally. The meetings you accept, the breaks you schedule, the projects you prioritize, they all become acts of alignment. Suddenly, person, your calendar transforms from a to-do list into a statement of purpose. And when you glance at it, you can actually see your values living there, visible in the choices you've made and the time you've protected. Most people believe that values are about what we believe, the person, but they're really about what we do consistently. You can tell me that family is your top priority, but if your evenings are always consumed by work. Person, the calendar tells a different story. You can say personal growth matters to you, but if there is no time set aside for learning, reflection, or rest, your actions contradict your intentions. Your calendar is the most honest feedback you'll ever receive. It never lies. It shows in black and white where your energy truly goes. Taking control of your calendar is a powerful act of self-respect. It means recognizing that your time is sacred, person, that every slot you fill is a promise to yourself or someone else. Protect it fiercely. Schedule the things that fuel you before the things that drain you. Give your best hours to what matters most, not just to what screams the loudest. When your calendar aligns with your values, person, you no longer feel like you're running from one obligation to the next. You start moving with purpose, clarity, and calm. So, the next time you open your calendar, don't just ask, what do I have to do today? Ask instead, person, what does this say about me? Because every block of time is a vote for the life you want or the one you're settling for. Person, when your calendar truly reflects your values, you stop living reactively and start leading intentionally. Person, that's where real fulfillment begins, not in the hours we fill, but in the meaning we give to them. Time is the one currency we all share equally, person, yet we spend it as if it were limitless. Every morning we wake up with 24 hours in our account. No more, no less. And how we choose to spend those hours defines the quality of our lives. Money can be earned again. Opportunities can come back. Even relationships can be rebuilt. But once a single moment passes, it's gone forever. There is no refund, no second chance. No, pause, button to hold it in place. The seconds slip through our fingers quietly, and most don't realize their worth until we're looking back, wishing we had spent them differently. The danger is how easily we forget that time is finite. We trade it for comfort, for distraction, person, for things that don't really matter. We scroll through endless feeds, attend meetings that serve no purpose, say yes to things that drain us, and tell ourselves there will be time later for what truly matters. Later for the dreams we put off, later for the people we love, later for rest, for peace, for joy. But later is a dangerous illusion. It doesn't exist. The only real time we ever have is now, person. And every moment we waste on the trivial steals from the moments that could have been meaningful. Person, think about how differently we'd live if we treated time the way we treat money. We plan where every dollar goes, we track it, we budget it carefully. Yet, person, with our time, the thing infinitely more valuable, we often spend it carelessly. What if we became as intentional with our hours as we are with our finances? Person, what if we invested our time into the things that yield long-term returns, growth, love, purpose, and peace? Imagine what would happen if you began to measure your day not by how much you did, but by how much you did that truly mattered. Person, there's a quiet tragedy in how we underestimate the cost of lost time. We assume we can always make up for it, an extra weekend here, person, a vacation there, but we can't. The minutes you didn't spend with your family yesterday, the hour you didn't invest in your craft last week, person, the time you didn't take to rest when you needed it, those are gone. You can create new experiences, but you can't reclaim old ones. The clock doesn't negotiate. Person, that wait for you to get ready or catch up. It moves with or without your permission. When we start to understand that time is the only non-renewable resource, our perspective shifts completely. We begin to see each moment as a gift, not a guarantee. Suddenly, person, urgency takes on a new meaning, not the frantic rush to get more done, person, but the calm recognition that what we choose to do right now is shaping the life we'll look back on. The awareness of time's scarcity makes us gentler, more grateful, more deliberate. It reminds us to look up from our screens, to listen deeply, to be present with the people we love, because those moments are the ones that truly count. So if time cannot be replenished, the question becomes, what are you trading it for? Every yes you give, every hour you spend is a trade you'll never get back. Choose to spend it where it matters. On the people who inspire you, the dreams that drive you, person, and the moments that make you come alive. Because at the end of the day, your time is not just passing. It's defining you. And the greatest tragedy would be to realize too late that you spent your most valuable resource on things that never really mattered. Person. Every highest we give carries invisible weight because behind it is always a no we're not seeing. When you say yes to one thing, person, you're automatically saying no to something else. Your time, your focus, your peace, your dreams. We often say yes out of politeness, obligation. Person, or fear of missing out without realizing that each yes is a trade. And like any trade, it costs us something. Every time you agree to a meeting you don't need, person, you're saying no to the deep work that could move you forward. Every time you say yes to pleasing others, you might be saying no to your own priorities. Person. The power of yes is not in its enthusiasm, it's in knowing what you're giving up to say it. Most of us grow up believing that saying yes makes us helpful, kind, ambitious. But there's a danger in being a constant yes. It stretches us thin, fragments our energy, person, and fills our days with commitments that don't serve our deeper purpose. The truth is, every yes dilutes your focus if it isn't intentional. Person, you can't give your best when your time is divided among things that don't truly matter. The most successful, person, fulfilled people aren't the ones who say yes to everything. They're the ones who say yes selectively and no courageously. Person. They understand that focus is not about doing more. It's about choosing less. Saying no is not rejection. It's direction. It's a way of protecting your time. Person. Your energy and your purpose from being scattered. When you learn to say no, you're not shutting people out. You're making space for what's truly valuable. A clear no today can make room for a powerful yes tomorrow. Think about it, every meaningful yes in your life, every achievement, every relationship. Person, every dream realized happened because you had to say no to something else. You had to close a door to open another. You had to prioritize what mattered most. Person, even when it was uncomfortable. We often avoid saying no because we fear disappointing others. But here's the irony when you say yes to everyone else. Person, you're often saying no to yourself. You disappoint yourself instead, and over time, that self-betrayal erodes your confidence, your clarity, and your joy. Person, you start to feel like your life isn't your own, because it isn't. It's a series of yeses given away to other people's priorities. Learning to say no is an act of self-respect. It's the moment you take back ownership of your time and decide that your purpose deserves a seat at the table. The people who respect your no are the ones who value your growth. They understand that a strong no is not resistance, it's intention. When you start saying no with purpose, you attract opportunities and people that align with your goals. Person, you stop chasing every possibility and start building momentum toward the ones that truly matter. You'll begin to notice that your days feel lighter, more focused, person, and more meaningful. Because now your yes actually means something. It carries weight, conviction, and commitment. So every time you're asked for your time, your energy, or your attention, pause before you answer. Ask yourself, what am I saying no to by saying yes to this? Is this yes aligned with my values, my goals, my purpose, or is it just convenience or fear disguised as generosity? The power of choice lies in awareness. Every yes should be sacred. Person, every no should be intentional. Because at the end of the day, person, the quality of your life isn't shaped by how many things you say yes to. It's shaped by the things you've been brave enough to say no to. Person, protecting your calendar isn't about shutting people out. It's about creating the space to show up fully for the things that matter most. Too often, person, we confuse business with importance, thinking that a full calendar means we're doing something right. Person, but being constantly busy isn't a sign of success. It's a sign of disorganization. When you guard your time, you're not being selfish, you're being deliberate. Person, you're acknowledging that your energy is finite and you want to invest it where it will have the greatest impact. The truth is, if you don't protect your calendar, person, the world will fill it for you with distractions, obligations, and noise that leave no room for growth. Every commitment you make has a cost. Saying yes to a meeting means saying no to focus time. Agreeing to an event might mean sacrificing rest. Person, the people who thrive aren't the ones who do the most, they're the ones who plan the best. They treat their calendars like strategic blueprints for their goals. Person, they understand that each time block is not just a slot, it's a decision. And every decision either moves you closer to your purpose or further away from it. Protecting your calendar means protecting your mission. It means treating your time as a tool, not a trap. There's a quiet power in being intentional with your time. Person, when you look at your calendar and see only what truly matters, your most meaningful work, your moments of rest. Person, your connections with people who inspire you, you begin to live differently. You move from reaction to creation. Person, you stop chasing urgency and start building significance. Protecting your calendar is a statement to the world that you take your purpose seriously. It says, my time has value, my goals deserve space, my energy isn't for sale. That's not arrogance, it's alignment. Person, many people hesitate to protect their calendars because they don't want to seem unavailable or unkind. But boundaries are not barriers, they're bridges. Person, they allow you to give your best instead of what's left. When you learn to say, I can't right now, you're actually saying, person, I want to be fully present when I do. Protecting your time allows you to bring more focus, creativity, and passion to everything you commit to. Person, you're not doing less, you're doing better. Because when you guard your time, you guard your excellence. Think of your calendar as a reflection of your leadership. Person, the best leaders don't just manage time, they shape it. They know that their calendar is a declaration of their priorities, and they refuse to let it be cluttered by distractions. They schedule time to think, to recharge, to plan, to connect. They know that empty space isn't wasted time, it's strategic breathing room. Without that space, creativity suffocates, clarity fades, and burnout begins. Person, protecting your calendar isn't about control, it's about sustainability. It's how great thinkers stay sharp and visionaries stay grounded. Person, so when someone calls you selfish for protecting your calendar, smile and remember this, you're not saying no to people. You're saying yes to purpose. You're not avoiding life, you're designing it. Person, the people who achieve meaningful success are not the ones who let their time be stolen by every request. They're the ones who use their time with intention. Protecting your calendar is not a defensive act, it's an offensive strategy. It's how you create space for the life you actually want. Person, not the one that happens by accident. Intentional scheduling is more than just good time management. It's the art of aligning your hours with your highest purpose. Person, every minute you plan with intention becomes a brick in the foundation of the life you're building. Too many people drift through their days, person, reacting to whatever comes their way, wondering at the end of the week why they feel unaccomplished. But when you begin to schedule your time with clarity and purpose, your life starts to move in rhythm with your goals. Suddenly, the days stop blending together. You can see progress, feel momentum, person, and experience fulfillment, not because you're doing more, but because you're doing what truly matters. Person, intentional scheduling starts with awareness. Knowing what deserves your time and what doesn't. It means asking yourself, is this activity moving me closer to my vision, or is it just keeping me busy? Most people confuse movement with progress. Person, they fill their calendars with meetings, tasks, and errands that give the illusion of productivity. But business without direction is like running on a treadmill. You're working hard, but you're not actually moving forward. When you schedule with intention, Person, every meeting has meaning, every block of time has purpose, and every day becomes a step towards something bigger than itself. Person, think of your calendar as a blueprint for your legacy. Every slot you fill is a statement of priority. If your time isn't structured around your values, person, you're letting the world decide for you what's important. That's why intentional scheduling isn't rigid. It's freeing, person. It creates boundaries that give you control over your time instead of letting time control you. It's not about micromanaging your life. It's about designing it. Person, when you plan your days around what truly matters, your growth, your relationships, your rest, you stop surviving your schedule and start thriving within it. Person, one of the most powerful aspects of intentional scheduling is how it amplifies focus. When your calendar reflects your purpose, distractions begin to lose their power. Person, you're no longer tempted by every request or opportunity that comes your way because you already know what your time is worth. Person, each hour becomes intentional real estate. You guard it, invest it, and use it wisely. And that clarity creates momentum, person. Progress accelerates when you stop scattering your attention and start concentrating it on fewer, more meaningful things. Intentional scheduling also creates balance. Person, it ensures that your life isn't just about achievement, but alignment. It gives equal weight to productivity and presence, work and rest, ambition and reflection. Person, the most fulfilled people aren't those who squeeze more into their calendars. They're the ones who design their schedules to nurture every part of who they are. When you plan time for family, creativity, learning, and stillness, you're not wasting time. You're replenishing the energy that allows you to perform at your best. Balance doesn't happen by accident. It's built, person, one intentional decision at a time. So when you look at your calendar, don't just see blocks of time. See opportunities to live with purpose, person. Be deliberate with what you schedule and ruthless about what you don't. Protect your priorities as if they were sacred, because they are. Intentional scheduling turns ordinary days into purposeful ones, and over time, those days stack up to create a meaningful life. Person, the results aren't just visible in what you accomplish, but in who you become. More focused, more fulfilled, and more in control of your destiny. Your time is the most valuable currency you will ever own. It's more precious than money, more powerful than opportunity, person, and more limited than anything else in your possession. Every second that passes is a piece of your life exchanged for something, an action, a thought, a decision. The question is, are you trading it for something that truly counts? We often spend our time as if it were infinite, person, giving it away freely to things and people that add no real value to our lives. But when you start treating your time like gold, person, you begin to see that every choice you make carries weight. You realize that how you spend your hours is how you shape your life. Person, the tragedy is that most people recognize the value of time only when it's already gone. We rush through our days, filling them with noise, person, and then look back wondering where it all went. The hours we spent worrying, the time we wasted in distraction, person, the moments we missed because we were too busy, they never return. Time doesn't wait for us to slow down or catch up. It moves relentlessly forward. Person, that's why spending your time wisely isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters most. Because when you spend your time with purpose, every moment becomes an investment, not an expense. Think of time like a bank account that refills each morning. You get 24 hours, no more, no less. And at midnight, whatever you didn't use intentionally is gone forever. You can't roll it over. You can't save it for later. The only thing you can do is decide how to spend it today. Will you spend it building something meaningful, nurturing relationships, growing yourself, resting your mind? Or will you let it slip away to distractions and obligations that leave you empty? The choice is yours every single day. Person, greatness isn't built in one bold act. It's built in the careful, consistent spending of time on the things that matter. Person, when you begin to value your time like gold, you stop letting others steal it. You become more selective with your commitments, more intentional with your attention. Person, and more protective of your energy. You no longer say yes out of guilt or fear, you say yes out of conviction. Person, you start to measure opportunities not by how exciting they sound, but by whether they align with your purpose. Because every time you say yes to something unimportant, person, you say no to something essential. Guarding your time isn't selfish, it's wise. It's how you ensure that your days reflect your values, not just your obligations. The beauty of spending your time where it counts is that it multiplies in meaning. When you pour your hours into work that inspires you, Relationships that fulfill you and habits that strengthen you, those moments don't just pass. They compound. They build confidence, clarity, and joy. Person, you begin to feel richer, not in material wealth, but in purpose. Because true wealth is not how much you have, it's how intentionally you live. Person. And when you spend your time on the things that make you come alive, every second feels worthwhile. So, treat your time as the treasure it is. Person, don't waste it chasing approval, pleasing everyone, or dwelling on what you can't control. Spend it where it counts, on growth, on love, on creation, on peace. Person, invest it in moments that expand you, not just exhaust you, because one day, when the clock runs out, person, it won't be the hours you had that matter, it will be how you use them. Your time is gold, and once it's spent, it's gone forever. So spend it wisely, person, because the life you'll tomorrow depends entirely on how you spend your time today.